Hello, everybody. Kevin Walsh alongside Jersey Joe Archino. Welcome to College Football Corner's Heisman Watch. Heisman, always one of the most talked about things around college football, and we're now going to be counting it down. We're going to do this every week. We're going to start off with your fifth-ranked player, who is someone who's on the outside looking in and maybe could crack that top three as the season moves along.
I think you got to look at first Paul Perkins, running back for UCLA. UCLA has had a very good season so far, picking up their first loss this past weekend against Arizona State. And obviously the big name for UCLA so far has been Josh Rosen, but he has had a very reliable running game behind Paul Perkins, who's been fantastic. And I think it's just from the fact that he's a physical runner, and at the same time he's got that speed to pick up with. You'll see on my list a lot of these running backs kind of fit that similar description. You got to like a back who has the speed and the power behind it. Paul Perkins is one of those, and he's had a very good year so far.
Perkins definitely has had a good year. You wonder, though, with him maybe not being the biggest name on his team, if that could hurt him. We'll only see how that goes. Now, at 4, another running back. Running back's kind of dominating things so far, so let everyone know who that fourth guy is right now on the Heisman Watch.
I think right now you've got to go Ezekiel Elliott, the running back for Ohio State. We saw him dominate through the playoffs last year, and he's had a quiet start to the season, but I think he really solidified himself in this past weekend in the win against Indiana with the 274 yards. And again, it's one of those things where he's such a physical runner. He bulldozes and plows through people, and he's such a heavy, reliable guy for the Ohio State offense. They're going to run the ball with him a lot. There was questions about that. How many carries would he get? But when you look at the numbers, he's already at 100 attempts so far this season, more than any of the other running backs on my Heisman Watch so far. So Ezekiel Elliott is number 4, and he could definitely continue to climb up the Heisman rankings.
And Ohio State is going to need him to be at that form if they want to defend their national championship. Now at 3, a quarterback cracks the list. Who is that?
You've got to go with Trevone Boykin. Most people had him as the Heisman favorite heading into the season. 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And his job is so important because TCU, we all understand, you look at the numbers they're giving up, their defense cannot stop a nosebleed right now, and that offense for TCU has got to pick it up and continue to move the ball every single time that they have it, and he has shown the ability to do that. Coming into the season, you had to think he had to improve in the passing game a little bit, and he certainly has. His numbers are fantastic, and clearly if he continues to get these wins for TCU, he'll be up there at the end with everyone else.
Boykin recently broke Brandon Whedon's throwing touchdown record at TCU, and that record is only going to grow as he finishes off his career at TCU. Now, we're going to get down to the final 2. I'm sure most people know who these guys are. And tell us whose number 2 is and how important this player has been.
Well, I call him the bulldozer with speed, and that is Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, if it wasn't for Leonard Fournette, who we will get to in a minute, spoiler alert, he has just been outstanding. Last year, you watched him and what he did, and he was phenomenal. Georgia's gotten off to a good start aside from this loss this past weekend, and a lot of it is credited to Nick Chubb and everything that he's done. I mean, he has all the intangibles. You look at the numbers that he's had this year, 745 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. He's just been phenomenal. He's only going to get better and better from here.
You gave the people a spoiler alert, but realistically, it was a little too obvious. Leonard Fournette right now in top tip shape. And the one thing I have to mention before you get into it, because I have to say it, he missed week 1 due to some weather issues. Imagine the numbers that this kid would have if they did play that game. It's just so impressive what he's doing.
He is an unstoppable force of nature. I mean, you have to look. I can't even remember all the numbers because of how jaw-dropping they are. 99 attempts, 864 yards, and 11 touchdowns. In 4 of his 5 games, he's had 3 touchdowns. There is no stopping Leonard Fournette. And again, like you said, he missed the first game of the season because it got rained out. There's no sign of slowing him down, and that's even with an offense that doesn't have the most consistent quarterback play. Everybody knows who's getting the football. It's Leonard Fournette, and they have had no answer. There is no stopping him. He is the best player in the country as of right now. And if he continues at this rate, I'll be honest, it's locked up. It's decided. He is the Heisman.
Well, you heard it from Jersey Joe himself. It's locked up. Well, we'll see how it goes. But Jersey Archino, Kevin Walsh, this has been the Heisman Watch brought to you by College Football Corner. We'll see you guys next time.